the exterminator. Rather, I try to give what is problematical back to the person in a way that shows its necessity, even its value. When people observe the ways in which the soul is manifesting itself, they are enriched rather than impoverished. They are enriched rather than impoverished. They receive back what is theirs, the very thing they have assumed to be so horrible that it should be cut out and tossed away. When you regard the soul with an open mind, you begin to find the messages that lie within the illness, the corrections that can be found in remorse and other uncomfortable feelings, and the necessary changes requested by depression and anxiety. Let me give some examples of how we might enrich rather than deprive ourselves in the name of emotional well-being. A 30-year-old woman comes to me for therapy and confesses, "I have a terrible time in relationships because I become too dependent. Help me become less dependent. I am being asked to take some soul stuff away. I should go to my toolbox and take out a scalpel, extractor, and suction pump. Instead, on the principle of observance and not inclined in any case of this kind of pilfering, I ask, what is it that you find difficult about dependence? It makes me feel powerless. Besides, it isn't good to be too dependent. I should be my own person." "So how do you know when your dependency is too much?" I reply, still trying to speak for the soul's expression of dependency. "When I don't feel good about myself. I wonder," I continue in the same direction, "if you could find a way to be dependent without feeling disempowered. After all, we all depend on each other every minute of each day, or every minute of the day." And so the talk continues. The woman admits that she has always simply assumed that independence is good and dependence bad. I notice from the conversation that despite all her enthusiasm for independence, she doesn't seem to enjoy much of it in her life. She is identified with the dependency and sees liberation on the other side. She has also unconsciously bought into the prevailing notion that independence is healthy and what we should correct the soul when it shows some desire for dependence. This woman is asking me to help her get rid of her dependent face of her soul. But that would be a move against her soul. The fact that her dependency is making itself felt doesn't mean it should be bludgeoned or surgically removed. It may be asserting itself because it needs attention. Her heroic championing of independence might be a way of avoiding and repressing the strong need of something in her to be dependent. I try offering some words of dependence that don't have the connotations of wimpiness that seem to bother her. Don't you want to be attached to people, to learn from them, to get close and rely on friendship and get advice from someone you respect? Be part of a community where people need each other and find intimacy with someone that is so delicious that you can't live without it? Of course, she says. Is that dependence? It sounds like it to me, I reply. And like everything else, you can't have it without its shadows, its neediness, inferiority, submission, and loss of control. I had the feelings this woman, as seems often to be the case, was avoiding intimacy and friendship by focusing these qualities into a caricature of excessive dependency. At times we live these caricatures thinking we are being masochistically dependent when what we actually are doing is avoiding deep involvement with people, society, and life in general. Observing what the soul is doing and hearing what it is saying is a way of going with the symptom. The temptation is to compensate, to be drawn toward the opposite of what is presented. A person fully identified with dependency thinks that health and happiness lie in the achievement of independence, but that move into opposites is deceptive. Oddly, it keeps the person in the same problem, only from the opposite side. The wish for independence maintains the split. A homeopathic move, going with what is presented rather than against it, is to learn how to be dependent in a way that is satisfying and not so extreme as to split dependence off from independence. Another way of disowning the soul is merely to dip your toes in the sea of fate. Yeah, I think I'll stop there. But yeah, I think that was pretty awesome how all those things related. And yeah, kind of, yeah, just all tied together into, yeah, certain themes of, yeah, sometimes we want to let go of things or we think we need to cut them away in certain ways. But what if, yeah, that integration, or, yeah, what if we could integrate and acknowledge and observe, yeah, rather than reject and push away and overcorrect, you know, and just be with what is and what's being presented, what's being given, what's being offered, and open to receive that and appreciate and acknowledge the messages that our soul has for us so that we can cultivate the fullness of well-being. And so, yeah. And also, yeah, realize that it isn't like our job to fix things, but yeah, maybe just to respond to what's really needed and allow that gift to be given and received. Yeah, offered, shared, and received. So, yeah, just contemplating those things and seeing into those things and looking into those things. Yeah. So, dreams and feelings and relationships and beliefs and perceptions and judgments and discernment and observation. So, all good things, and expressing, and being able to communicate and share with others can help that wisdom emerge and those messages come through for us, for ourselves, for others, and to serve the integrity of the whole. And that's like, yeah, being true to ourselves. And that's what I feel like has been asked of me. And yeah, and that's what I've been working with, playing with, and moving towards, and allowing to unfold for me and through me. And so, yeah, recognizing certain things about old patterns and strategies and how they were hurting me, trying to be perfect or pleasing or taking care of others in an effort to get my needs met, but really not knowing what I really needed. But yeah, all of these things have helped me see like what it is that I can like ask for and what I can be open to receive and to know that I deserve and to claim by claiming and seeking. So how awesome is that? And how full is that? So yeah, with all of that said and expressed and blessed, and yeah, embrace the mess and allow the symptoms of that dis-ease show us what we really need and how we can show up for our being and how we can be true to our being and true to all of we, through being true to ourselves and honoring our path, honoring our feelings, honoring our needs, honoring our energy, and yeah, what we can create our own power with and through our own power to be, and to claim that for ourselves, and to realize it and to believe in it, and yeah, to trust that, and be with what's now. So, love and blessings, and thank you. Have a beautiful day and take good care of yourselves. Be well. Be love for yourself. Okay, bye for now.